Hey guys, it's your boy Dali or that Forex Kid on TradingView. So, this is just basically a small video where I'm just giving my thoughts on current market sentiment. So, right now it's nice to see Bitcoin back above 42,000. Uh, it's nice to see it above, out of the bearish territory, and it's somewhat holding, but me just looking at the charts and trying to figure out what is going to happen next. Obviously you could look to the left and you could see we could look at previous times Bitcoin has done this. So what I am looking at is let's look back a little bit. So we had this big move here. I'm going to zoom in. So let's just say this is where we are right now. We had this big move, we had this pullback, and then it bounced. So this is what happened: pullback, bounce, boom. We got 100% bounce, which for Bitcoin at the moment, if it was to bounce 100%, it would be, let's say, about 60,000, 65,000, which I think right now is logical, right? So okay, let's just say we get that 65,000 bounce. Look, let's see what happens next. So look at that. This is a possibility. So you always have to uh, understand that this is a very big possibility right now. That hey, you have this big spike. This is what we're going off right now. Big spike. It made all-time highs. It sold off. It bounced and then bounced again and then it sold off. So I still feel like we have this big sell-off that is possibly looming. S&P 500. A lot of stocks I'm seeing some weakness, in them. Weakness in the sense that they're not selling off, but they're not accelerating to new highs as quickly as they did before. And obviously, a lot of money is now trying to decide where is the money supposed to go, because in order for these things to make new highs, a large amount of money has to go into it. So, it's divvied up between the markets and the crypto and all these different things coming out. So, for me, I am invested in crypto, obviously, invested in stocks, obviously, but I, at these levels, I'm still cautious. So, for me, okay, so we have this big run up on Bitcoin, we have the bounce. You know, you guys out there who are trading, just keep thinking to yourself, what is next? What is on the board? Obviously, a run to all-time highs is possible, but when we get to all-time highs, what percentage chance do you think we have at staying there? Because now, do we make all-time highs again and we go to 100,000? That is what everyone would like to think about. But my voice of reason to you is, yes, we may reach all-time highs, we may not reach all-time highs, but always remember that the possibility that you could drop is just as high as the possibility that you can go higher, right? So it drops. You don't want to say it gets to a low level, but speculative levels, I think 20,000, 15,000 are good levels. But upside targets, obviously 100,000. And I would love to see 100,000 as well, because I have positions in crypto. But sitting here and just thinking and looking, you always have to think, well, maybe this could happen, maybe that could happen. It's not, you know, definitive, and it's just based on looking back at what has happened before. You know, the players that have been playing Bitcoin over and over, they're still here. The people who can induce sell-offs like these are still there. They are still out there. They could sell off and then they could make it, so that it rips the all-time high. You get a lot of panic selling, and it happens. We had, a moment where, it held those lows for a very long time. But there are a lot of positives coming out with, you see MicroStrategy buying Bitcoin. A lot of people are buying Bitcoin, but, regardless of what the big hedge funds or the big funds are doing, us as the small guys still have to sit down and think, what is actually on the board, what could possibly happen, and then you obviously ask yourself, how could you position yourself realistically in a market like this? What is up there for grabs? And now, if I was to look at this chart and create a strategy, you're in an area where the risk to take a position is very high, because you take a position, there's all that downside there for very almost the same upside. So right now, Bitcoin is not attractive to buy if you were trying to get in, because that spike, that recent spike, it makes it a bit difficult. But it's just, this video is like a voice of reason. Just keep being aware of market conditions, being aware of what's going on, and always try to make intelligent decisions when you're taking a position. So another thing I did take a position in is obviously SHIB USD, and I just like the chart. It looked very similar to Bitcoin, but what I'm seeing now is that it's rolling over a bit. It's showing some weakness, and obviously if Bitcoin shoots off, Doggy Coin is going to follow and SHIB is going to follow. But for now, I'm seeing some weakness, and if you are in SHIB, just look to see if it can break those highs. Otherwise, obviously, I'm kind of grateful I got positioned towards the lower end of this move, so I can always cut my losses very quickly if I see it breaking. What is that? 570. So that's what I'm looking at. Another thing I'm just doing a quick update. I'm in STMX, right? So STMX has a lot of levels. I am in here pretty late, I believe. So I'm gonna be adding to this one. I like this one. As I said before in many videos, I like it. I like it, and I'm gonna be adding on the lower levels. So maybe 0.01 and lower. So I'm in there. Well, I'm in Ethereum. Ethereum looks much better than Bitcoin. Ethereum actually makes me think that there might be more of a bull coming because of how it's setting up. You get a break of this current high right now. You could see it shooting off, and then you obviously at 5,200, which is very, very good for my position. What else do we got on the board? CKB USD, I'm in that one as well. It had a descending channel, as you can see, and now it breaks out. It's a mini channel. It's pulling back a little bit, but I am in this one for the long term. They had a very interesting, as I said in my previous video, some interesting news in terms of being compatible with Cardano, which is shooting off at the moment. And Digibyte, I have a small position in Digibyte. It's the black line. So I added, my first position was at the black line, and then I added down in the lower area. So it's doing pretty well now. Target obviously would be highs, but it depends on what Bitcoin does. So Shibo Dali, that Forex Kid, signing out. I just wanted to sometimes put an update video out there.